Record. Those of you who were up early would have realised that the German factory orders were very, very weak indeed, minus 3.7 compared to a minus 0.9. However, the market has bounced. I've been here since just before that, and we're probably almost where we were before that figure came out. Right, we'll quickly go through. Hang on, let's put it on there. We'll quickly go through what we've got out today. Let's go through it. Obviously, the factory was at 7. We said they were minus 3.7. We said slightly weaker as such. I just did a lesson with someone who's been trading in Australia, lives in Australia. Obviously, the Royal Bank of Australia has come out there, and their decision of policy was the fact that they did mention tapering and a hike, mainly because he was saying the housing prices have gone completely out of control, as they have done here. And their interest rates have stayed the same at 0.1. And the market obviously did come off slightly, 100 ticks, but have somewhat rebounded. 8 o'clock, ECB Hernandez speaking. He's a super dove. Obviously, 8:30, we have the German construction PMI. I'd be very much wary of that because of the bottlenecks and everything else. And obviously, with the factory orders come in to go through that. 10 past 9, ECB de Gundos is a dove. He's speaking. 9:30, we have the UK construction PMI. Again, could be struggling with the supplies that keep coming out of the country. 10 o'clock, the figure of the day. Zoo, we're going for 75.2, previously 79.8. We'll go through that a bit later. And 10 o'clock, we also have the European retail sales. We're looking at a plus 4.3 against a very weak previous month, minus 3.1. Over to the US, we have the PMI services out at 245, and probably the big figure out today, the ISM non-manufacturing due out at 63.5, previous 64. That's probably one of the big figures of today. Normally it comes out 2 days before the non-farm payroll, but obviously due to the US holiday, it has fallen back. Quickly going through the news, COVID rules set to end in England July the 19th, despite rates going up. New Zealand business rebounds, triggering speculation of both taper and hiking. We've gone to that. Oil hits a 3-year high after the OPEC have abandoned their meeting, and at least the market short on barrels. UBS have come out just now and are seeing the oil expects to rally as high as $80 in the next few weeks. ECB also meet today on their strategy review, the first strategy review in 20 years. One of the things they'll be talking about is obviously how they review inflation. But the biggest one that Christian Lagarde wants to bring in is the climate change and the government green bonds. So be aware of that. The other thing we've quickly got in there are the container ship prices have rocketed. The price has quadrupled since this time last year, and obviously still hasn't been helped by the Panama Suez thing. And I forget the name of the cruise ship there that blocked it for a couple of weeks. The German election poll, positive for the DAX in a way. The CDU has 29% and the Greens 18%. Those of you who aren't aware, their election is early September. Right, again, obviously those who traded yesterday were extremely quiet because of Independence Day. Most people took the day off and didn't trade. And I think the market winged down in the morning and floated back up in the afternoon. Again, we'll probably have to wait until the US comes in later this afternoon at 1:30. And indeed, remember the non-factoring ISM is fairly important. And again, we may have to wait until 3 o'clock to see any move. Jerry and I will do the Zoom at 2:20. So hopefully to keep you informed of that. Again, as we come to the summer period, most of us traded well yesterday. Don't overtrade because we are on holiday. A lot of people are on holiday despite it pouring with rain in Kent at the moment. So let's buy the time at the moment. All we have on fear today is that the Germans' factory orders were weak, but we're trading now at 51.50, 156, 51.53 is exactly where we were when those figures came out. Right, we've got a couple more minutes in here. Again, those of you who are new, the market is getting volatile. We'll be sending more details through on the US 500 or commonly known the S&Ps and also the Eurostox 50. I'm going to try and do a Zoom this afternoon on that, on why more people trade Eurostox and S&Ps compared to Wall Street and indeed the DAX 30. Right, George, are you awake? He says yes. What do you want to trade, FTSE or DAX? You do the DAX? So I'll go on to the FTSE. I think also what this morning we had the live squawk on. They were saying obviously with Boris Johnson announcing the what's it called, the unlocking of lockdown, so to speak. We do expect a few of the FTSE 100 companies to be bid up on the opening because they should eventually be open. Let's try and be fairly neutral on that. George, are you on audio? Well, I've got to re-put you on there. What you wonder? Hang on. I can't hear you. George Brown. Can you hear me? All right, okay. Well, I'm going to do the FTSE, and you can shout out what the DAX is. Okay, we'll wait to come the opening. Again, a lot of people probably haven't traded since Friday. Coming into the 6th of July, and we'll go with that, and I'll wait to see what the opening brings. Yesterday morning, it was fairly clear, straight down, on a very, very thin volume as such. Have you got your DAX chart there? Lucas, which one's your DAX chart? Oh, okay. I can see it there. I've got FTSE. I can't hear George. Oh, no. Let's try and get. Could be a very quiet morning, I think. Going on there, waiting for obviously, I think the construction PMIs and obviously Zoo at 10. Anything much in that DAX? No. Yeah, absolutely dead quiet. Again, I think what we found last week that it's probably taking sounds as though it's an eternity, probably 60 seconds to 2 minutes for the market and open to move to see a reaction on the market opening. And again, the letter O, P and Q have been the important letters today. Again, we'll probably might have to wait until obviously, as we said, Zoo at 10 a.m. Yeah, I said, yeah, as a FTSE, as said, we've seen a 5-6 ticks rally. Remember when Boris Johnson made that statement yesterday, the market had shut, but I'm not really expecting a lot in it. But I think if people are going to come in and buy it, so be it. But in theory, very, very quiet, and hasn't troubled me. Yeah, so the DAX has been the clean one. Again, on the market profile, the news that comes, the German factory order is extremely weak. So we're seeing a fairly clean in the FTSE buying obviously on our unlocking thing, and the DAX is what a few stops on those factory orders been shocking, minus 3.7. But the FTSE has been completely the other way as we attempt to get up to these new highs. Very clean in the FTSE. Anything in the DAX? So yes, a spike down the stops, and the FTSE, like we said, has rallied on the news of the unlocking. I mean, in a theory as such, when we get that news that come out, and Boris Johnson obviously made that speech after 5 p.m. Remember, the cash markets shut at 4:30 p.m. And they don't react to afterwards until they come in today. But from the FTSE point of view, from George, that's been almost almost a 20-tick rally, which is interesting because obviously those trading the DAX went the other way, and obviously the FTSE carried on its path upwards. I suppose that the good news that the COVID rules are set to end on July the 19th, and I think the front page of the newspapers are, if we can't end on lockdown, then when can we end it? So TUI's, some of the big FTSE names in that FTSE 100 are all in that hospitality sector as such. Right, FTSE was an easy one. DAX was slightly harder one. Those of you we got one-to-ones, we'll catch you later. And remember, we're back on at 2:20. All right, I'll speak to you later.
Cheers, Neil.